welcome to Mat Pilates. If you would like to play any music, you're welcome to go ahead and get that started now. We're going to start in standing. I know I'm pretty far away from the camera right now, but that's okay. I just want you to see my full body. You don't have to see my face. We'll get started with heel raises and arm raises here. So we're going to float the heels, float the arms. We want to keep all 10 toes connected to the floor, as well as feeling that weight in the ball of our foot. So that's that squishy part under the 10 toes. All right, so we're feeling all the weight in the balls of our feet. The heels come straight up and back down. Be careful not to lean forward. If you're wobbly at first, it's okay. We breathe. Inhale, exhale. One more time. Very good. Then we're going to step wide. Toes point towards the corners of your mat. We're going to bend our elbows, palms face up, serve a tray as we plie squat. Notice how my chest is straight up, parallel to the camera. I'm not leaning over to do this. Okay, so I'm sliding down an imaginary wall. If you were on a Pilates reformer, heels would be wide on the foot bar. You're laying down on the carriage, and you're moving the carriage in and out from the foot bar. So picture that here. Warming up and opening up those legs. Last one, and those hips. Very good. Bring your feet all the way together. Hip hinge, knees bent. So it should look like this. So we have a nice little hinge at the hips, and then the knees are soft. Our back is straight. We're not rounded. We're not overextending in that low back. We want to find that nice neutral spine, neutral pelvis. We're going to lift, lower our heels here. Hands can be on your waist. Again, we're not rocking forward and back. A little balance work. You should feel those abs working here. If you don't, make sure you're not letting them rest on your legs or just hanging out in space. Keep them nice and engaged. We're not sucking in. We're not holding our breath. 2 more times. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. Stand up nice and tall. Roll the shoulders down and back. You can step a little bit wider with your feet. 1 more shoulder roll. Then we're going to do a shoulder shrug. Bring those shoulders up to the ears. Big squeeze. Big exhale. Let them drop. Shake it out. We'll do it again. Inhale, squeeze, hold, exhale, drop. Let it go. We'll do that 2 more times. Just let go of all that tension from the neck, shoulders. Let it melt away. Great job. All right, we're going to take a walk to one end of our mat. Doesn't matter which end. You won't see my head for just a little bit, but we're going to inhale. Float our arms up overhead. Exhale. We're going to start to chin tuck, scoop, round. We want to try to get as much rounding as we can through that part of the spine right behind the belly button. Okay? Knees can be pretty bent here or very soft. We don't want to feel a big stretch on the back of our thighs here. Okay? So hang out here. Gentle shake yes and no with your head. Let go of any remaining tension, and then bend the knees as much as you need to until your hands touch to the mat. We're going to walk our hands out, coming into a high push-up plank position. With this class today, you will not need any equipment other than your mat. Keep breathing. Inhale, exhale. We're pushing that floor away. Make sure shoulder blades aren't creeping together. We're also not just letting our hips hang. We're nice and lifted. Carefully lower those knees. We're going to cat-cow stretch. Exhale, round the back. Inhale, extend. Heart and tailbone opposite directions. So we want to look at how I'm getting good thoracic extension all the way down to my lumbar. I'm not just dumping into my low back to get that extension and keeping my upper back rounded. We want that nice, full spine extension. And then same with the rounding, we want nice rounded. So we're rounded all the way from top to tailbone. So that means we kind of have to tuck a little bit, not a glute squeeze or clench, but we want to use those lower abs and hamstrings on the back side here, just above or just below the glutes. We want those to be working to pull that pelvis down so we get nice rounding. One more time, inhale and exhale. Very good. All right, so finding all fours, we're going to do a bird dog here. Right arm and left leg are going to reach in opposite directions. Super strong and long. Inhale, exhale, eyes looking straight down. And then lower the arm and leg. Left arm, right leg, reach and hold. Notice, did you have a big balance or weight transfer? And then you had to kind of balance yourself. Do your best. Get those abs on board. And that serratus anterior. Okay? One more deep breath. Lower down. So serratus anterior is the muscle that keeps the shoulder blade onto the rib cage. It's a part of our core, and we have to push away in order to get that muscle to work, okay? And it wraps around to the side of our rib cage. All right, so one more time. Right arm, left leg, reach and hold. Super long from fingertip to toes. Lower down, and other side. You can modify this if your shoulder doesn't like this overhead reach. Just maybe take your hand to the back of your head so your elbow is bent, or you can take it straight out to the side, lower down. All right, very good. We're going to come on down to seated here, legs out in front. Sitting up nice and tall. I like to wiggle around a little bit, get that fleshiness out from underneath me so I can feel those sit bones grounded on the mat. Feet are going to be flat like they're up against an imaginary wall, arms long in front, parallel to the floor into each other. Growing tall, we exhale, round the spine. From there, start to hinge forward. We want those shoulder blades to slide on the upper rib cage. We're not doing a shoulder shrug, so we should be able to keep our ears visible, all right? So we're just sliding the shoulders on the rib cage, and then sit up nice and tall, shoulder blades slide down the rib cage. Inhale, exhale, round, reach, inhale, exhale, up you go. And again. And if you need to, if you're having a hard time getting into this full lengthening position, you can sit on a yoga block or books or something, and that'll help prop you up to get you on those sit bones. And then sit up nice and tall, lower the arms, roll the shoulders down and back. Arms are going to come out here to the sides. We're going to do our spine twist. With spine twist, we don't want our arms doing the movement, okay? So those arms are basically just straight out. They stay there. Think of them as paralyzed out to the side. All of our movement is at our torso. Hips and feet are not shifting, okay? So we're going to rotate towards the right using those abdominals. Notice I'm not going super far. If I were to go super far, I would have to move my arms in order to do this, okay? Then I might even end up shifting my hips in order to do this. So notice my feet are no longer in a line with each other, all right? So we're nice and tall. Inhale, exhale, go left. Sit tall and right. And again, if shoulders do not like this or your arms start to get tired, you are welcome to just bring your hands to your chest. We rotate here, keep those elbows wide so that you're not cheating by bringing those elbows around. Notice my feet are still nice and stable, not shifting. So there are your options. One more time each side. We finish to the left, lower the arms, roll those shoulders out. Just make sure we're not getting tension into the neck. Okay, so next we're going to do saw. We're going to widen our feet about the width of your mat. So now we have a nice base of support here. We want to keep both hips and sit bones down into the mat. So again, feel that grounding into the floor with the sit bones. Arms are coming out here, nice and tall here. We inhale, shoulders out of the ears. We exhale, rotate right. We dive down over that right thigh, looking over the right shoulder, palm face up. We sit tall. Exhale, rotate left. Look over the left shoulder. Keep that right hip down on the floor. Inhale, sit tall. Exhale, rotate and reach. Left hip is down. Inhale, exhale. And you can do this sitting on a book or a block or something, yoga block, if you find that, again, you're not able to get up over those sit bones and feel them underneath you. A block can really do a lot of help for getting those sit bones underneath you, which helps with alignment and posture. And sit up nice and tall, lower the arms, roll the shoulders down and back. Okay, great job. We're going to bring those legs closer together. Coming down to laying here, we're going to grab onto the back of our thighs as option. Option 2, a little harder. Keep your arms lifted. Lower yourself down, one vertebrae at a time. Do your best to not plop. Usually people will just like plop there. Do your best. Hold it, hold it, hold it. Breathe. Hold that control, 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 control. And then the head comes down last. Very good. All right. We're going to bring our hands down. Our legs will come up to tabletop. So we want 90-degree bend at the knee, sitting directly over the hip. A lot of times I see people want to tuck their knees in towards their chest. We lose the lower abdominals and we use hip flexors in this. We go too far, then out away from the chest, then we're using the low back. All right, so we got to find that 90-90. That's going to engage those lower abs here, and you should not feel those hip flexors. If you do, let your feet come down. You can continue on with this exercise with your feet down, okay? So away we go. We're going into our Pilates 100. Hands are down to start. We round up the head, neck, and shoulders. Think of a cutie orange under your chin. You're holding it without turning it into orange juice. We're going to pump our arms. Inhale 5 counts. Exhale 5 counts. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Check those legs, make sure they're not tucking in or starting to pull out. You can always put your feet down. So this is what it looks like with feet down. Those shoulder blades are still lifted. One more set. Very good. Go ahead and lower all the way down. You can rock side to side here. Nice little reset. Okay, so from here, we're going to roll over to our side so that you can see the camera. So just come over to one side. We're going to take, and if you have a yoga block, a towel roll, a book or something, if you want to put your head on something, you're welcome to here. We will be doing some movement. We're not just going to let our head hang forever, but we're going to take both hands, stack them on top of each other so our fingertips meet. Okay, so this is called windmill. We're going to have our knees bent. Our hips are stacked, so we're parallel here with our hips. We're not leaning back. We're not jutted forward with that top hip. We're just nice and stacked. Okay, so our head is relatively neutral, extended from our spine. We're going to start to take our top hand, slide it up our bottom arm. Then we're going to get to our chest, slide across the chest, open up, keep those knees down into the floor. We open up the chest out to the other side. We inhale here, exhale, start to bend that top arm, bring it across the chest. We come back to midline and bring those fingertips to meet. Do it again. Inhale, it's a big chest opener here. And exhale as you move through this. Again, we're keeping those feet down, knees down. We want to do our best. I'm a little unstacked there, but we want to do our best to keep our hips down. Or our hips stacked. So if you see this top knee wanting to move, get it back on the stacked position, and then maybe you're not going as far, okay? So then we're going to bend our arm, start to bring it back across. Very good. One more time. Inhale. I just did a big upper body workout today, so my pecs are a little bit tight. And then we come back. So I guarantee I'm not the only person with tight pecs. All right, here we go. We're going to go to the other side. So just push yourself up. Turn around. Knees are stacked. Hips are stacked. Nice parallel line here. Bottom arm is straight out. Top arm on top. Head is nice and aligned. We keep everything stacked. We inhale, exhale. Start to slide that hand across the chest. And one side's probably going to be different than the other. You may be able to go further. Let your eyes follow your hand. We inhale, exhale, start to bend. Bring it across the chest. Come back over, and we land. Okay, we have 3 more. Inhale. Check those knees. So for me, this side, a little bit easier for me to keep that stacked position with my hips. Still not going very far. And that's okay. Doesn't have to be perfect. Just have to move and work on it. Working with the breath. Nice inhale. And exhale. Very good. Okay, so from here, we're going to roll back over to our back. Knees are bent, palms face down. We're going to do some bridging here. We'll start with the pubic bone tipping towards the chin, a little bit of pelvic rocks just to make sure we're getting the correct muscles working. So we want our lower abs to help pull that pelvis towards our belly button, as well as we want those proximal hamstrings to be working. You should be able to reach down and your butt cheeks are soft, but you feel engagement here at the back of your thigh, top back of the thigh. All right, so then we're going to extend that low back. Then we're going to push the low back down. Do your best to just get those proximal hamstrings working. Glutes should be squishy here, no gripping. All right. Because gripping can cause other issues. We don't want gripping. All right. So from here, we're going to continue to round up. So we have our hamstrings working. Now our glutes are going to kick in. We will feel opening up through the front of the pelvis. Shoulder blades are weighted equally. We inhale at the top. Think about squeezing those thighs inward towards each other. And then lower down, 1 vertebrae at a time. Tailbone comes down last. Inhale, exhale. Again, we start with those proximal hamstrings, pulling the pelvis back into that low back flexion. We lift up into extension of the front of the hips, so those glutes are really active here. We inhale, exhale, lower down, 1 vertebrae at a time. Tailbone comes down last. Okay, this time we're going to come up and hold our bridge. Make sure you're breathing. Inhale, exhale, up you go. Notice all the feels. Squeeze those thighs inward. Keep breathing. Feel those abs nice and strong. One more deep breath. And lower down, one vertebrae at a time. Tailbone comes down last. Great job. All right, we're going to do feet together in Pilates V. So those heels are touching. Knees are about shoulder width distance. So if you look down, you should be feeling like, oh yeah, they're lined up with about the outside of my shoulder or maybe armpit. Okay, hands are going to come down. We're going to bridge ourselves up. Hold that bridge. We clamshell. We open and close. The best way to do clamshell is in hip extension, right? So we inhale, we exhale, and we are in hip extension here. So you should feel some decent hamstrings back there, adductors. One more time. And then lower down, one vertebrae at a time. Tailbone comes down last. Yes, you should have felt that in those lateral hamstring muscles, as well as the proximal and those inner thighs. Great job. All right, so we're going to take our hands away from the mat this time. Fingertips are reaching straight up towards the ceiling, right above the shoulders. We don't want to be overhead. We don't want to be lazy and down here. We're straight up. With intention, we lift up into our bridge. We hold up here at the top. We're going to do a hip thrust with a palm thrust down. So we're going to pull down, palms down, glute squeeze, lift up, pump, and you can even turn those palms face up to lift, working on a little shoulder girdle here. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. Multi-joint movements are so good for the body. Inhale, exhale. Still making sure all those glutes are working. We're not just arching our back. Last one. And lower all the way down. Let those hands come down. Rock those knees side to side. Nice reset. Very good. Keeping our left knee bent, right leg is coming up towards the ceiling, point the toes. We're going to pull the leg straight down through the middle, flatten out your foot, lift straight up towards the ceiling. You should feel nice lengthening along the back of the body. Point the toe, lower down. Here you should feel nice length from hip flexor to toes. Flatten and lift, point and pull. Pay attention to those abdominals. We also want to feel obliques working, transverse abs working, to keep that pelvis nice and stable. The only thing moving is the femur through the hip. Still breathing. Hold that foot up here towards the top. Small circles, toes pointed. 2, 3, 4, 6. Switch directions with the circle. 6, 5. Super stable through that left leg. 2 and 1. Bend the knee, lower the right foot down beside the left. Okay, we're going to take the left leg up, point the toes, pull down, nice hip extension all the way to the toes, flatten the foot, lift up, get nice back line stretch. Point and pull, flatten, lift, inhale and exhale. Again, you want to feel those obliques, transverse abdominals working here to keep the pelvis stable. Only thing moving is that femur through the hip socket. Keep the leg up towards the ceiling, point the toes, small circles. 8, 7. Stable through the right side. It means you have to use those abs. 2, 1, and switch. 8. No rocking around. 7, 8. Very good. Bend the knee, lower the foot down. Bring those feet close together. Let the knees fall out to the side. Release those hip flexors. Legs are going to go out straight. Arms reach up towards the ceiling. Inhale here. Exhale, chin tuck, scoop and round. Come up as far as you can. If you get stuck here and you need a modification, just roll over to your side. Push yourself up and then reach forward over those thighs. Okay, we're going to do this 2 more times. Arms lift up, we roll down, 1 vertebrae at a time. If you need to modify, feel free to take one leg into your hand and then straighten it back out. We inhale, exhale, chin tuck, scoop and round. Come up as far as you can. If you went to the right, this time go over to the left to push yourself up. Take that forward stretch. Inhale, exhale, lower down. Inhale, exhale, roll it up. Keep those heels down, keep those heels down. When the heels lift, that means we're using our hip flexors and not our abs to come up to seated. All right, grab a drink. Okay, rolling like a ball. If you have osteoporosis, you are going to skip our rolling exercises, okay? All right, so we're going to hold on to the back of our thighs. If this is too easy for you, you're welcome to switch to holding on to the shins, or super hard with control is a nice tight hugged ball, okay? So you have your options. We inhale, round our spine, forehead to the knees. We come back up and find our balance. We inhale and exhale, find our balance. I'm going to switch, show you each option. Notice the difference. So we're not able to swing those legs when we're holding here and we're in super tight ball. Definitely not moving those legs. It's all in the abs. We inhale, exhale. 2 more times. Should feel like a nice massage on the spine. If you're on a hard floor, maybe pack a couple blankets underneath your mat or something to help it make it nice and squishy. Very good. All right, going into seal here. So our knees come out about the width of our shoulders, maybe a little wider. We're going to take our palms, scoop in between our legs around those ankles. Option, if we can't get this because of hip flexibility or for whatever reason, you can hold on to the outside of the ankles here and your knees can be a little bit closer. All right, so I'll start here. We're going to clap those feet. We roll back just like rolling like a ball. Clap, 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 clap. So here it is with scooped in the middle. Clap, 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 clap. One more time. Okay, very good. So open leg rocker, we have options for this too. Option 1, we have our knees about hip width distance. We can hold on to the back of our thighs here. Make sure you're not holding on to the back of the knee. We don't want to do that. Back of the thighs. We roll back the same way. We come back up, find our balance. Notice how my knees do not change. They stay bent, okay? Option 2, you can start to reach down towards those ankles. Hold the ankles, roll back, and come forward. Option 3, open leg rocker, full variation. We roll back, come forward, find that balance. Inhale and exhale. And ideally, you want to stay on your runway. So you want to stay squared, centered on your mat. One more time. And nicely done. You can bring those legs together, bend the knees, and lower down. Take a forward stretch. Okay, we're going to go into our ab series of 5 here. I'm just going to push through all 5. Please take a rest if you feel like your neck is wanting to do more work than your abs. Also, you can just put your head down and do all the exercises with your head down on the mat. We're going to take that right knee in towards the chest. Left leg is going to come out straight. We're going to round our back, keeping those shoulder blades lifted if we can. Left hand is going to come underneath that right knee. Right hand is going to reach down towards the ankle. We're going to hug and round up, get some nice opposition. So we're kind of kicking our shin into our hands, to help lift us up. We hold for an inhale, exhale, switch. Hand position, left hand at the ankle, right hand below the knee. Kind of get that nice engagement here, and switch. Now we'll move with our breath. Inhale, exhale. Last one. Taking right leg up towards the ceiling, left leg out. Grab that calf. If your head is down, back of the thigh. We switch. Okay, inhale, exhale. Last one here. Both legs together, hands behind the head. Lower, lift. Pelvis is not moving. Just the femurs in the hip socket. Shoulder blades stay lifted. I'm not coming all the way to the floor. Find your range of motion. No low back stuff here. Watch your belly. Make sure it's not puffing up. If it is, come out of this. Or bend those knees, shorten the lever, and it would look like this. Okay? Last one. Then we're going to hug our knees or our shins, hug up into a ball, and reach. Hug, reach. Circle the arms, hug the shins, lift up higher. Ooh, feeling the burn, getting sweaty. We got this. Last one, hands behind the head, crisscross, elbows up towards the ceiling, center, elbow to the ceiling. Careful not to cross it over. Inhale, crisscross. Last one. And rest. Reach those arms and legs opposite directions. Open up through the front of the body. Take a deep breath. All right, so remember when you were a baby? You probably don't. But remember that babies start with rolling over. That's one of their developmental things that they have to do. Then they end up army crawling or scooting. And then they end up crawling. Then they pull to stand. And then they end up in walking. So we are going to do a pencil roll or a baby roll, however you want to look at it. You can lead with your arms, you can lead with your legs, but we're going to use our abdominals and core muscles to roll ourselves over. Do your best to not sit up first. Too many people I see sit up to roll over to their stomach. That is not how we sleep and roll around in bed. So we don't want to have to sit up when we roll over in our bed, right? So we're going to keep those legs about hip width distance to each other, so those thighs may be touching, maybe there's a little space. We're going to come down to where our hands are under our armpits here. Elbows are tucked in back beside the rib cage. We're going to do a small little lift of that sternum or chest bone away from the mat, lower back down. We do not want to feel a bunch of stuff in the glutes and low back, so maybe give that a little shake. Make sure everything is soft. Doop-a-doo. Okay, try it again. We're working on upper thoracic extension, so right between the shoulder blades, and then lower back down. Keep the eyes looking down once you get this. Nose just hovers when you come down. Little lift, little lower. Inhale on the way up. Exhale as you lower down. Inhalation helps with spine extension. Exhalation helps with spinal flexion. So inhale up, exhale down. Check that belly. Make sure we're not over inhaling into our belly. We want to think back inside of the lungs is where our inhale is going. All right, from here, we're going to come up into our Sphinx pose. Palms down, forearms parallel to each other, elbows underneath the shoulders. From here, we want to think about pubic bone is just kind of hovering over the mat. We don't want a deep lumbar curve here, so we don't want to be crushing our low back or that high hinge point. We want to have a nice open chest. Think about that upper thoracic extension we just worked on. We want to get that going as well here. All right, so we're going to kick our right heel and then our left heel to the glute. Kick, 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 kick. If you want to do more choreography, a little bit more work on the brain, we're going to heel, toe, heel, reach the toe long. Heel, toe point, heel, and reach. Heel, point, heel, reach. Or just do a double heel kick. Chest stays lifted. And nicely done. Okay, so going into double leg kick. If your shoulders do not like this movement, just keep your arms down beside you along the mat. And when you can do everything else, you're just not bringing your hands around here behind your low back, okay? But eventually you want to try to work to where you can get your hands behind that low back. All right, so eyes are looking probably towards the camera first so you can watch. We're going to heel kick both heels to the glutes at the same time. Make sure we're not doing a butt lift, okay? That just means your hip flexors are working in order to accommodate this movement. You're also probably getting into your low back. So we want those hamstrings to work. All right, so with your hands back here, you can kind of feel, is my low back staying relatively soft during that kick? So kick, kick. We reach our toes long behind us. Squeeze inward with our thighs. Hold on to the other hand. Lift the heart. Reach the hands back towards the feet. Look down to the mat. You're going to then turn your head. Look to the other side. Kick both heels to the glutes. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower, kick, kick. Lift, lower. Inhale. Again, belly. Here, I'm going to show you what it looks like if the belly is doing all the work. Okay, so let's see if I can try it. So exhale, exhale. Oh, I come up really high. My belly is pushing me into the floor, and that's what's pushing me up higher. Okay, so we don't want that. We want to kick, kick, lift with extension. Not the belly pushing into the floor. Last one. And lower down. Let the hands come down. Take a deep breath here. Breathe into the back and side of the lungs and rib cage. Careful not to push your belly into the floor here. Good feedback for back expansion. Turn your head, look to the other side. 2 deep breaths here. Okay. Finishing up here in the extension, palms down, wider than the mat. Eyes look down, nose hovers. We inhale, push up into spine extension or swan. We inhale, exhale, lower down. 1 rib at a time. Eyes look down, nose hovers. Again, we don't want those shoulders creeping up into the ears. All right, so we want to keep thinking elbows pulling down or reaching down towards the rib cage. We inhale. Shoulders aren't here. Okay, exhale, lower down. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. We're also not just crunching up in that low back, okay? So pubic bone's going to hover a little bit above the mat and back down. So we get nice hip extension. All right, from here, we're going to roll over to our side. Feel free to grab a drink if you need it. We'll get set up for sideline leg series. All right, so bottom knee can be bent. We want to push that bottom thigh down into the floor. Bottom arm is going to kind of cradle the head. Our hips are stacked, our shoulders are stacked. Top hand is in here up front for balance, and those shoulders are not creeping up into the ears, okay? So flat foot, we're going to kick forward, point the toe, and bring it back. Another little add-on, if this is too easy and you're able to maintain that hip stack and you're not moving your hips around with your leg, okay? So that takes a lot of abdominal work to hold that pelvis in place and just moving the femur through the hip. Option 2, you can start to lift that side body so you can see a little bit of space between my side body and the floor. We want to keep that space as we move. So my hand, I can just stick my hand freely underneath there. Inhale, exhale. We're doing 8. Last one. Keep that space if that's what you're going for. We want that nice long side body here. All right, point the toe, small circles, 8. Flat foot, reverse, 8. Take a reset if you need to. Otherwise, internal, external rotation. Make sure that foot is flat and we're not trying to just use our toes to do this movement, okay? We're actually maybe even using our hand to kind of pivot or spiral our femur through that hip joint. Seven, 8. Very good. And lower that top leg down. Good job, Pat massage. Nice work. All right, we're going to do a little tricep press here, keeping those knees stacked. This top hand is coming down. Bottom hand is going to come out in front, okay? We're going to do a little tricep press. Push up and then come back down. If you want a little bit more work, take that bottom hand away. One more time. Very good. All right, you can push yourself up. We'll turn around. I'm going to grab a drink now. My hair is getting a little messy. That's okay. All right, bottom knee is bent, pressing down into the floor. Bottom arm cradles the head. Hips are stacked, shoulders stacked. Okay, let me pull that leg back a little bit. Okay, so always important to make sure the setup is correct. Always take the time to set up. Flat foot. Oh, and again, if you're doing that side lift, making sure the spine is nice and aligned, you're going to get those fingertips under there. Make sure they stay there. Kick forward, slide it back. Inhale, exhale. Pelvis is stable, torso is stable. Point the toe, small circles for 8, 7. It's all coming from the hip. 2, switch. Foot is flat. Check that rib. Okay, internal, external rotation. So spiral in, spiral out. Again, we're not leaning back and forth. I didn't mention that on the other side, but make sure this is just at the femur. One more time. And rest. Good job, Pat massage. All right, so we have our tricep presses here, 6 of them. Again, you can have a little help with that arm out here in front. We push up, back down, or take a hand away, up and down. One more time. Good job. All right, push yourself up to seated. We're going to figure 4 stretch both sides. So you can start with your legs straight. Take your right ankle, cross it over the left thigh. Start to slide this in. Only go as far as you can comfortably. Yes, it's going to feel really tight right now. And just breathe. Rest into it. Then if you can, see if you can bend the knee a little bit more. Breathe. No, sometimes you just want to hold your breath. That just makes things worse. Just makes things tight. And then we're going to switch it out. Other side. You can even stay here if that's enough for you to even just get that ankle crossed over. You can start to slide that heel in. Still breathing. Slide in a little more if you can. You do you. So whatever works for your body is what you do, all right? Eventually things do start to get easier because you're getting stronger and more mobile. Doesn't mean the exercises are easier, it's just you're getting stronger. All right, so we're gonna come up to quadruped here. Cat-cow stretch, exhale round, inhale extend. Remember the first time we did this at the beginning, can you get more rounding here? Can you get more abdominal engagement and more of that proximal hamstring pulling the pelvis back? Can you get more even spine extension from shoulders to tailbone? Then we're going to round the spine, curl the toes under, lift the hips, straighten the knees, down dog here. Ears between the arms, pedal out your feet. So we walk our dog, alternate knee bends. Very good. And then start to walk the hands back towards the feet. Hang here for a couple deep breaths. Notice how it feels. Knees are bent as much as they need to be here without getting that big stretch. We don't want a big stretch on those thighs. And then slowly stack up. Even if you think it feels good, believe me, you're just overstretching those hamstrings. We don't want that. We want them strong but mobile, all right? But not over flexible. So doing our standing finishing work, arms lift, heels lift. Remembering how this felt at the very beginning. Does it feel any different? Lift and hold those heels, hold the arms up. Little pumps up and down. Wobbles are okay. Palms face up, pump up. Palms face forward, pause really quick, find your balance, pump forward. If your shoulders start to get tired, please reset. Come back when you can, palms to the back, pump back. You can also just drop those heels if it starts to get too wobbly. Woo. Don't panic in those wobbles. It's really good for the nervous system to wobble. Lower the arms, lower the heels. Roll the shoulders down and back. Think about any time you've ever fallen. It starts with a wobble, generally. Okay, but you got to be able to catch yourself quick. So it's good for the nervous system. Okay, from here we're going to do our tricep work. So we're going to hip hinge, knees bend, similar to our heel raises, right? But we're going to keep our heels down. We want to keep that nice hinge and bend at the knee. Arms are going to be straight out behind us. You can make a fist. We're going to do little circles here, keeping those elbows nice and open. Eyes are going to look down about 12 to 18 inches in front of your toes. So we have a nice line from head to tailbone. Belly is pulled back. Switch directions with those circles. If your shoulders do not like this extension, all right, you can come down a little bit closer towards the thighs, but keep that elbow open. All right, that's what works those triceps, opening up the elbow. Okay, then we're going to do nice little pump inward. So we're going to squeeze inward like there's a ball back there. Squeeze, squeeze, little pumps. Then we're going to pretend like we're pulling up our pants so the elbows go up to the ceiling. And then we're going to push our pants back and down. Inhale, exhale. Breathing. You should be feeling those triceps burning. One more time. We love the burn. Lower the arms, stand up tall, roll the shoulders down and back. Feet parallel, hip width distance. Make sure we're not slightly externally rotated on one side. Get that nice alignment, nice posture. Very good. Big inhale, float the arms up. Exhale, final roll down, chin tuck, scoop, and round. As you come down, notice how your body feels. This should feel different than the very first one that you did. Maybe your knees can be straighter this time without feeling that big tug and pull on the back of the thighs. That's how much length we've gained through the spine today. Slowly wiggle those fingers and breathe as you come up to standing. Roll the shoulders down and back. Deep cleansing breath. And exhale. Great job. Thank you so much. I hope you enjoyed that. And please feel free to modify anything that you need to. Take out anything that you need to. You do you. If you think it's unsafe for you, leave it out. Unless you're with somebody that is watching you, or you're in here in the studio with me where I'm watching you and coaching you. If it doesn't feel safe or look safe, leave it out. Have a great day.